Happy New Year 2021! Can't believe 2020 is actually over. It felt like the longest year and also the shortest year. It was very weird. I am glad to leave it behind, and hopefully things get better this year. I don't usually do New Year's resolutions. For me personally, I just don't really like them, I guess. If you want to make a change, start a new habit, break an old habit, just do it. That's kind of my point of view on it. There's no need to wait for some special day. You know, we made up the calendar, we made up the year. And it's not to say that they don't mean anything, but when it comes to making changes, I feel like just go ahead and do it. There's no need to wait until New Year's. You know, just go ahead and make the change when you're ready to make the change. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with New Year's resolutions, and I don't have anything against other people doing them. They're just not a thing I have personally ever wanted to do. This year, though, I do have New Year's resolutions. This New Year's feels really important to me. So, I'm actually making some New Year's resolutions this year, and I wanted to make a video about them. Most of my resolutions can be summed up as, be good to myself. These are not really in any particular order, except that I saved the biggest and most important one to last. The first one is exercising. I've been telling myself that I'm going to start exercising all the time. I've done it so many times this year, I've done it so many times in the past years, and I just never keep up habits. The goal this year is inspired not only by my desire to get in shape and start exercising, but also by a YouTuber named Callum McSwiggan, who challenged himself to exercise every day for 365 days in 2020, and he completed it. And I think that's a really cool goal. So I'm going to try to do the same this year. I'm going to try to exercise every day, starting today, for the entire year. Hopefully I'll make it. My goals with working out are, first of all, just to get into good habits. I think it's really important to be active and do things, and I have learned that when I'm able to get myself to do things like that, I really do feel better, both mentally and physically. And specifically, I really want to work on my shoulders and chest kind of area to kind of help myself feel a little bit better about my dysphoria and just my appearance overall as I go through my transition. Number 2, eat better. Eating better for me doesn't just mean the actual food that I'm eating, but the how and when that I'm eating. I've noticed I have a tendency to not really eat any meals during the day, or maybe have one. They're kind of randomly scattered. I tend to eat really late at night, and I'm not eating good food all the time, or even most of the time. So in 2021, I want to have meals. I want them to be thought out and made well, and I don't want to just be randomly eating through the day. Most of all, I want to be conscious of when and what I'm eating. I think I have a tendency to just eat when I'm bored, and it doesn't make me feel good, is the problem. I don't see anything wrong with eating, obviously, but for me, I don't think it's making me feel good. I think it's causing just not great health, and I just don't feel good when I do it. So I'm going to try to eat 2 meals a day and be conscious and specific about when I eat those meals and when I eat other times throughout the day, rather than just randomly and constantly eating through the day, which is what I have been doing. Number 3 is sleeping better. I am not a good sleeper. It's been a problem my whole life. I have trouble getting to sleep, I have trouble staying asleep, I have trouble getting back to sleep. It's something that I'm used to and have, for the most part, accepted at this point in my life. However, what I'm not happy about and what I'm not going to accept is my bad sleep habits. Namely, that I don't have a consistent time I go to sleep, and I don't have a consistent time that I wake up. So in 2021, I'm going to work on making my sleep schedule more consistent. I want to go to sleep at a good, consistent time. I don't want to be going to sleep at 10 p.m. some nights and 1 a.m. other nights. That's too much variation for me. I also want to be getting up at reasonable and consistent times. Currently, I'm in grad school, I have evening classes, so I don't have to be up in time for classes, and currently my job means that my work schedule is a little bit inconsistent. I don't have to be at work the same time every day. However, I know that I'm going to end up there. I'm in school for library sciences, so I will likely end up with a job where I do have a regular schedule, and I don't want to be unprepared for that. I want to be able to get up at the same time every day, or about the same time every day. I also want to break my habit of staying in bed when I wake up. So I'll wake up, and then I'll lay in bed for several hours, or, a couple hours. And I don't want to do that. So this year I want to work on getting up when I wake up, even if it's before my alarm. And also setting my sleep schedule around my natural rhythms. I naturally tend to wake up between 7:30 and 8. So it doesn't make any sense for me to try to set a schedule where I'm waking up at 9 That's just not when I'm going to be waking up. I'm also going to try to not nap. I've, this last year, gotten into the habit of napping almost every day for long periods of time. It just isn't good for me. It means I can't sleep late at night, and then the cycle just continues where I can't get to sleep at night, and then I'm really tired the next day, so then I take a nap, and then it just keeps happening. And I'm not upset about it. I think 2020 has been a weird year, and I think indulging in little things like naps is not a bad thing. I don't think it's ever a bad thing, but I think especially this year. However, just like with the eating and the exercising, I'm not feeling good with what I'm doing right now. There's nothing objectively wrong with the habits that I have now, but they're wrong for me. I don't feel good napping every day. I might feel good in the moment, but I wake up groggy and disoriented, and it's really hard to get on with the rest of my day, and then, like I said, I can't sleep at night. And I'm done with that, so I don't want to do that anymore. And number 4 is I want to read more. It's not that I don't read at all, but I don't read as much as I used to. When I was a little kid, I read everything, all the time. Everything I gave my hands on, I was reading. And I really loved it. And then as I got older, I stopped reading as much for pleasure, which makes sense. I was, in middle school, I had reading to do for that. I was in high school, I had reading to do for that. Also, my days were taken up by school. And then I got to college, and again, I was reading for class. And so I was reading a lot, but I wasn't reading for pleasure. And so I think when I then finished college, I wasn't in the habit of reading for pleasure anymore, but I also wasn't reading for class. I just wasn't reading anymore. So this year I want to try reading more. I'm not going to be setting a specific number of books that I want to read this year. I've got books I really would like to go ahead and read because I'm excited about them, but I just want to read more. I'm going to try to read something every day. I just want to spend some time reading every day this year. Number 5, music. I started playing the violin when I was 4 years old, and I played it consistently and basically every day for many, many years. When I was really little, I was forced to practice. I hated it at the time, but I'm very glad I did now. I practiced for my private lessons, I had recitals, I was later on in an orchestra in high school, I had lessons in fiddle music as part of a small Irish music group at school. In college, I was part of a group called the Village Orchestra at my congregation that did bluegrass and Irish and kind of fiddle music. I was in symphony in college. And then after I finished my time in symphony, I just kind of stopped playing all that much. And now it's been several years since I've played my violin. And it makes me kind of sad because I really loved playing violin. So this year I want to start playing again. I also own a mandolin and can play that a little bit, and I'd like to get better at mandolin, and I'd like to continue improving my violin skill. And I'll probably end up uploading some videos of me playing music on violin, mandolin, and getting better, hopefully. Number 6, being vocal. This is the last goal. This is the most important one to me. I think that if all the other goals I've set this year fail, but this one succeeds, I'll be happy, and I will feel successful this year. I need to speak up when things are wrong. I mean this in my personal life. Not that it's not important to speak up when things are wrong socially, but I really need to do better about advocating for myself. And the main area that I need to work on right now is with my parents. I love my parents dearly, and they love me as well. But my transition has been a really difficult situation for all of us. And I need to tell them what I need. The big thing I need to tell them is that I don't want to be called Grace. I want to be called Sid now. This is a really difficult thing for me to do because Grace is a really important name to my parents, in particular my mom. I don't know why exactly it's so important to them. It's not a family name, but I'm going to respect that fact. However, it's not the right name for me right now. I also need to finish coming out as trans to my family and friends. I'm not exactly in the closet with anybody, but I haven't explicitly told everyone in my life. And I've reached a point in my transition where I can't hide it, and I don't want to hide it anymore. I've been on testosterone for 7 months, so my voice is getting lower, things are changing. I'm hoping to get top surgery soon. There are things that are going to be happening, and people are going to notice that there are changes, and I don't want these conversations to come up because they have to. Because someone notices that I've had surgery, or someone notices that my voice is low, or someone notices that I've got facial hair. I want to have the conversations on my own terms when I bring it up. And I also, as with my parents, I want to be called Sid. That's a thing I'm going to have to tell people. I think it's going to be hard with some things, but in the end I think it will be really good, and it's going to lead to a much happier and more comfortable life for myself. So, those are my New Year's resolutions. Some of them are a little lighter, more fun, some of them are a bit more heavy, some of them are strict, some of them are just general kind of outlooks on life, but I'm feeling pretty good about this year. I'm not a super optimistic person, I'm not a pessimistic person either, but I feel good. I feel good because I'm seeing good things in the people around me, I'm seeing good things in people in general, and I'm seeing good things in myself. There are some things that are out of our control that will cause us to have bad times. We can't do anything about it. A lot of things are under your control, and it's really hard, but I'm trying my best to hold on to those things that I can control, like my own habits, the things I do in my free time, the way that I look at things. And those are areas where I can control how my life is going to go. And I feel confident about moving forward and doing good things for myself and for other people. So, I hope everyone has a fantastic 2021 filled with love, support, and great new experiences. Sending out love to everybody. See you later, y'all.